Hey guys, James here again, and this is going to be What If Deku Was Garp Part 3. Sorry I didn't have this out yesterday, or the day I said I was actually going to have it out. It's just, school keeps me busy. Um, on Friday I should have at least one or two out, as I don't have school. So, yeah. Let's start off with the Force Training arc with with Deku beating almost every villain there, except for like Magna and Spinner, as Deku couldn't find them. Also, Bakugo showed a bit of ferocity now as he turned Mr. Compress into a vegetable. Yeah, you heard me right. Bakugo turned Mr. Compress into a vegetable. Bakugo also has a different quirk called Shockwaves, as Bakugo is now more like Deku Sengoku, and Momo is more like the Suru. She spams me too much. Alright, so I believe the next arc would be the Hideout Raid, and I'm gonna go over that so first, the story begins. Deku in 1A, no one's in the hospital. No one. The gas was not up for long enough to actually make someone pass out for too long. Because that's how fast Deku got everything done with. You had Mandalay, Spinner, not Mandalay and Spinner. You had Mandalay, Pixie Bob, and the green-haired girl. Forgot her name. But Ragdoll, Mandalay, and Pixie Bob, or Pixie Bob and Ragdoll had the biggest injuries, so they were in the hospital. But the League of Villains didn't expect the Lift Force training to be that much of a failure, as Deku's basically All Might without One for All. Okay, we'll start the arc with everyone in 1A, just being treated for minor bruises, scratches, or they're in the hospital for like a day or two just to be stabilized. So yeah, they get moved into dorms, and Deku, Bakugo, and Momo are surprisingly put into, let's say just Bakugo and Momo are put in one dorm as Midoriya gets his own. So yeah. And the ship in this one is going to be Deku X Nature, as that was a very high demand. So, by high demand, I mean that's about one person, or three at least. But yeah, so Deku's in this dorm, and that's when the big three appear. And Mirio is the one with One for All. And All Might had told Mirio, Midoriya's on a whole different league from him and Mirio, either way. Mirio was curious about this, and he walked into Midoriya's room to see Midoriya lifting well over a ton with one arm. And Bakugo is in the corner of Midoriya's room with rice crackers and a goat. And Momo is just sitting on Midoriya's floor reading. And when Mirio walked in, Nature and Deku kind of just looked at each other for a second, and Nature turned red. Deku was like, I feel this feeling I have. I like it. So yeah. Mirio and Deku would introduce themselves, and Mirio's like, hey, I'm your Togata. And, I have a feeling you and your friends, and my friends, are trusted enough to know that I am All Might's successor of his quirk One for All. And Midoriya says, I forgot about that. Yeah. As Midoriya did punch All Might out of his buff form. So, yeah. So Midoriya can automatically assume One for All is probably a quirk that helps All Might buff up. Just noise in the background, I'm watching Fairy Tail. So yeah, Mirio's Hawk. Mirio wants to spar with Midoriya, as Mirio tells Midoriya that All Might has said Midoriya's on a whole different league from any other person. Midoriya doesn't disagree with this. He's like the peak of humans. So yeah, Midoriya and Mirio go out to a training ground, and Mirio starts using permeation and building wall to wall. As he's doing that, Midoriya's just jumping in, he's using observation and tracking Mirio. Not observation. I'm saying Deku's smart enough to at least track where Mirio's going. So every time Mirio jumps to a wall, and Mirio jumps to a wall using windfall. So like it's really visible to the human eye, but Deku catches it easily. So he follows Mirio wall to wall, or like floor to floor, roof to roof. So yeah. At one point, Mirio does get one hidden using at least 50% one for all. He's like, he's out cold now. When the fist hits Deku's face, Deku looks down at him. With like such intense speed, Mirio can't even fully permeate, as Deku already lands a punch and just sends Mirio flying to the ground. Like, Mirio couldn't even comprehend how fast Deku's punch was. So yeah. Deku punched Mirio into the ground, and, yeah. So, Deku is just running around now, as Mirio is just struggling to get back up after receiving a blow to the face from basically the strongest human to ever exist. And that's when Tamaki and Neidre ask Bakugo and Momo to fight. So, Momo and Bakugo will agree, and it's Bakugo versus Tamaki. Bakugo wins that in a landslide, as he got close enough to Tamaki to actually, I'm going to say Bakugo could actually create a shockwave that hurt Tamaki's hand. Bakugo got close enough and created a shockwave around Tamaki's head that knocked him out. Momo, she completely outclassed Neidre when it came to tactical strategy and just raw power, as she was already at inhuman strength and speed. So, yeah. And after about an hour, Bakugo is just kind of sitting on Tamaki's back. Momo is reading while sitting in front of a unconscious Neidre. Momo is reading sitting in front of a unconscious Neidre. And Midoriya is kind of just dodging every one of Mirio's hits. You know how like in some animes there's like a punch that's so fast it'll scratch you? Mirio's speed is like that, but it's not landing any scratch on Deku. And now Deku will actually realize a flaw in Mirio's movements. He has to permeate one part of his body at a time. That's when Deku takes advantage of this, as Mirio's about to come up through the ground, and Deku, using his max speed, he's going to find out Mirio's ribs, or at least his torso, is not fully permeated. Deku's gonna go for an axe handle and hit him there, right in his ribs, breaking them. I'm gonna force that put on Mirio, knocked him out. So yeah. And Deku has only hit Mirio twice, as he wasn't going for full blows. He wanted to analyze Mirio. And it worked. So Aizawa, he didn't think Midoriya, Bakugo, and Momo would win. But when Aizawa walks in, he sees a unconscious Mirio, a unconscious Neidre, and a unconscious Tamaki, as they were all beaten. As that would make Deku, Bakugo, and Momo the new big three. Bakugo, having no problem with this, like, instantly just picks up his jacket, and he picks up his goat and walks off. As Bakugo always has a goat with him. Pretty sure Son Goku has like a pet goat and a pet gorilla. So yeah. So that would include the mini training and, the hideout raid that's about to commence, as Aizawa didn't really have to make a public apology to anyone. They wanted to, just clarify who Midoriya is, since he stopped the whole villain attack. So, as I was going to start explaining who Midoriya is, and League of Villains isn't expecting a attack, as Midoriya is in his hero suit, which is just basically a black suit with a black overcoat that's bulletproof and fireproof. And, yeah. So, yeah, Bakugo, Momo, Midoriya, they're kind of just watching the place. They have All Might on standby with the big three, as it's been 2 days. And Mia's ribs, they're okay now. Recovery girl came in clutch. Okay, Midoriya, instead of All Might playing the pizza thing, it's gonna be Midoriya, and this time, Twice is gonna answer the door. Pretty sure it was Twice in canon, but when Twice is about to get to the door, Midoriya punches his fist through the door as it goes into Twice's face, and it twices in the wall. And anyone that was punched by Midoriya in the League of Villains instantly recognizes that fist through the door. As they're in panic mode, they instantly start getting teleported away. But before Shiraki can fully get teleported away, he sees a full cowling Mirio come to the floor and punch him into a wall. So, yeah. Toga's going to try to jump into the room, not into the room, into Midoriya. As Momo, not having any of that, going to come through the wall and ends up just smacking Toga square in the jaw with a metal staff. Now it would be Bakugo versus anyone left. I'm pretty sure it'd be Bakugo versus Spinner and Magna. So yeah, Spinner's gonna try to use his swords on Bakugo. Bakugo already knows he's far above Spinner's league, as he literally just stopped Spinner's blades using 2 fingers and brute strength. So yeah, Bakugo starts causing such violent vibrations that all of Spinner's swords shatter, and Bakugo easily distracts Spinner by the shirt and headbutts him, knocking him out. Now Magna, she's gonna try to use her quirk, and I'm pretty sure it was like her quirk isn't as effective on the same gender as her. But Magna is she's pretty sure it's a girl that classifies as a guy, so he used to be a she, and it doesn't matter since her quirk doesn't work on females since he used to be a female. So yeah, I don't get the whole process of Magna, but yeah, Magna's trying to use her quirk on Bakugo. But Bakugo just latches his fingers into a wall and doesn't move as far as Magna hoped. Because Bakugo will grab her her cinder staff, or whatever you want to call it. Bakugo will use his quirk, shatter it, and then he's gonna grab Magna's neck, and it's to the point where it almost breaks, and due to the pain, it makes her pass out, or him pass out. Or for one, can already sense that they're passing out as he just teleports them away to him. And that's where all the pro heroes come in at the Nomu factory. All for one isn't he just let's say he has not Dr. Jiro, Dr. Ujiko on speed dial, and he's like, hey, I need you to release Hood. He's gonna be my assistant. And Dr. Ujiko says, I have 5 high-end Nomu that I could probably speed up their process. So let me do that, and I'll bring them to you. And Orphan's like, you have 3 minutes. Uchiko's like, I'll do that. So Uchiko will do the 2 minutes, and the 6 high-end Nomu counting Hood are ready. Then All For One calls up Gantomakia, and Gantomakia is there now. So are the 6 Nomu counting Hood. So yeah. Once the heroes are there, they can already feel some power coming out, until they see a gigantic Gantomakia fall in front of them. Then, Hood is going to jump through, the gate of, not the gate, or, I guess it be the gate of the warehouse. And this time, to keep it for same sake, Endeavor and Hawks are going to take on Hood, and the same thing will happen with a plus ultra prominence burn. And Midoriya vs. Gantomakia will start until the big 3 of UA, the old big 3, are going to be like, hey, we're going to fight. As Mirio will straight up just punch Gantomakia in the nose, shattering it. So yeah. Midoriya's going to jump over Gantomakia and rush towards All For One, as the other 5 Hayanomu will try to interrupt Midoriya. Midoriya, not having any of their BS, will just punch them all away and leave it to Mirko. And Mirko will actually beating them as Midoriya's punches significantly beat them. Or at least weaken them. Significantly beat them. I mispronounced that so bad the first time. So, yeah. Mirko, I'm going to make a manga spoiler. So, skip like 10 seconds if you don't want to hear it. Mirko loses a arm fighting 5 high-end Nomu currently. So, it's either an arm and a leg or just a arm. So, yeah. This time Mirko doesn't end up being as badly injured. And, yeah. Midoriya goes through the rest of the Nomu and just beats them mercilessly. And then he gets to All For One. Then he sees All For One giving All For One to Shigaraki. Once the process is completed, Midoriya, no hesitation, grabs All For One's head and just punches it into the ground using full force. And Shigaraki, not having any of this BS, is going to activate All For One for the first time. This time, Shigaraki's been training because he wants All For One, but he wants Midoriya dead as well. So, Shigaraki's body is already ready for All For One. Shigaraki will activate it, and All For One is going to take his chance. He may be weakened now due to Midoriya, but he's like, alright, 2 All For One users at once. Let's make this work. And yeah, that's when the fight will occur. Midoriya jumps away as he sees Gantomakia rushing towards him. And he sees a Mirio with a giant slash mark on his chest. And he sees a defeated Neijire and Tamaki. When Midoriya looks at Neijire, he just feels a unhinged sense of rage, as he just dodges Gantomakia's rush and punches him into Shigaraki and All For One. And Gantomakia is just not even going to get up after this. And All For One's like, what the hell is wrong with you? As he's going to push on Gantomakia's face as he feels like from the nose down on Gantomakia's face just fall off. So, yeah. Gantomakia has like the eyes and like his nose and up from his whole head, and that's it. So yeah, Midoriya basically just killed Gantomakia in one punch of being angry. As Shigaraki and All For One go all out using All For One, as that fight will occur. And Midoriya, like Shigaraki and All For One are using those giant fists, and Midoriya's kind of going blow for blow with both of them. And that's when there's one more punch thrown with Midoriya and Shigaraki colliding. And just the amount of power through that one, it destroys one of Shigaraki's giant fists. Then another one will be thrown by Shigaraki's left arm, as Midoriya will catch it and rip it off. So Shigaraki doesn't have enough energy for one hand, and then Shigaraki just lost one. So, yeah. Shigaraki's down for the count. Well, he's down for the fight, but Midoriya elbow checks him into a wall. And then, yeah. All For One's going to use his All For One to start fighting Midoriya. As him and Midoriya are going blow for blow. And this time, All For One and Midoriya can go blow for blow due to him being more experienced. So yeah, they keep fighting, and yeah, Midoriya will just punch out one of All For One's arms as it explodes and breaks. Like the big, like I guess the size will explode as All For One's actual arm is broken. And Midoriya will just do the same thing he did to Shigaraki, rip off the other arm. And so Midoriya's going to jump on top of All For One, and then All Might just yells, "You know what you should do." As Midoriya's going to do the same thing All Might did and crush All For One's actual head. But before All For One was inevitably killed, he got Shigaraki and the League of Villains out of there, along with Gantomakia, who will need significant healing. But All For One sees around him, or can sense around him as he's dying, he sees a burned up Endeavor. He sees Hawks holding up Endeavor, being bloody and tired Mirko. Like, it's just, he knows he did some damage to the heroes. And Midoriya kind of looks like how Garp does in his picture. Like just beaten, tired, and angry. So yeah. Midoriya will just inevitably pass out due to him actually not going blow for blow with Shigaraki and All For One. It was like him breaking his bones each time he collided fists with them due to all the quirks and power. Midori passes out due to so much blood coming out of him. And yeah, he wakes up about 3 days later in the hospital, and he sees the big three around him. Sees some. Well, actually, I didn't mention Bakugo and Momo throughout like the main fights, but they fought a lot, I guess. So Midoriya just wakes up in a hospital bed. He starts to stand up, stretches, and takes his bandages off as he sees he's basically just fully healed. Nurse will be scared as she pats him down and finds out his broken bones healed a lot faster. So yeah. Midoriya will actually be given release as he's in his dorm again after about 3 hours. His dorm, Neidori will walk in, thank him for being a hero, I guess. As she'll explain, what she was told. She'll say it was very heroic with a slight blush and kiss Midoriya. Midoriya, not knowing what that was, is just going to say, "Can you do that again?" and keeps asking for it. So yeah. So I guess I'm going to conclude this part. If you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, at least use personalized notifications. Good day, good night, good afternoon. It's 3 a.m. for me. Yeah. Bye now.